Joining me on this very special day is a lady in our community who has been here for 10 years now in the Tooele County area, as she's also been well known to be a substitute teacher. And you might recognize her in her outfit because, as I know, sometimes she will wear it when she substitute teaches. It is Marlene van Horssen Long, and she is with her delightful Dutch family, which we have enjoyed spending some afternoon with today. Marlene, tell me, how long have you been doing your family reunions?
We've been doing them since 1995. And this is our 6th reunion.
Oh my goodness. Now, what kind of work does it take to put one of these together?
It's a lot of work, but it's very well worth it.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, now, something people may not know about you is that you actually came over by boat. Now, you were only 2, is that right?
I was only 2. We came over in September 1956.
Oh my goodness. And all of your brothers and sisters. Now, some of them were not actually born at that point, but this would be your oldest brother, right?
Yes, he is.
Tell me your name, sir.
Pedro.
Pedro, now how old were you when you immigrated?
I was 10 years old. I just finished 5th grade.
Oh my gosh, so you have a good memory of what it was like coming over on the boat.
Yes,
Tell me what your memories are.
I was 10 days on the boat. It was very enjoyable because we were with some other Dutch families, because during that period, a lot of people were immigrating, and they were also immigrating to Salt Lake City, because you had to have a sponsor.
Right.
And we had some Dutch sponsors in Salt Lake City.
Marlene, now tell me, who is the second oldest?
Marian.
Marian.
Or Marian.
Yeah. Marian.
Okay, and how old were you when you came over?
I was 7 years old when I had just finished the 1st grade, getting ready to start 2nd grade.
And what are your memories of being on the boat?
My memories were not quite as fun. I have motion sickness.
Oh, I can imagine.
I was sick quite a bit of the time on the boat. I do remember that we learned 2 English words on the boat, and that was yes and no. Those were my first English words. And it was when we saw the Statue of Liberty, I mean, that was just awesome. And then, of course, in New York, going on the train, I got sick some more, getting to Salt Lake. But I can just still remember, as young as I was, what a vast country, because of Holland being so small. We thought, wow, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, and if you can take a while to get to one end to the other, and it's not like in Holland, is it?
No, not at all. You'd be there in no time. And they gave me a little coloring book and crayons, and I remember that. And I was so happy with those. I thought, what a nice place.
And that made a whole difference, I'm sure.
Yes, it did. For
your first impression.
For a little 7-year-old, that was...
Well, and was Dutch spoken in your home growing up?
Yes, we did. My mother was a housekeeper, so she never worked outside the home. My father was a carpenter, so he kind of didn't have to learn too much English. Sure. And all our friends were Dutch, so we did always speak Dutch. And my mother would say, please speak English to me so I can learn it. Of course, in English, we'd have to repeat it about 3 or 4 times for her to understand it. So as a child, you just go back to Dutch. Okay, then do the easy. Yeah. So we did always speak Dutch, and now as brothers and sisters, we still speak a lot of Dutch to each other to keep it up.
That is wonderful. Now, who's this tall guy behind you? Tell me your name.
Jan, or Dutch name Jan.
Jan? And how old were you when you came over?
5 years old when I came over.
So, and what were your impressions?
I was still kind of small then, but just started a kindergarten school over here. That's where we learned English.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you guys are the typical Dutch tall people. Tall, that's wonderful. And you still live here in Salt Lake now?
Still in Salt Lake.
Oh, wow.
And that's been back to Holland twice.
Oh, wonderful. Now tell me, who is this?
I'm Yoke, or Joan in English.
Oh, wow.
I was 4 when we came.
Oh, my gosh. And they all have these beautiful blue eyes, your sisters and your brothers. My goodness. Every one of them. Wow. Okay. Yoke, I like that name quite a bit. And so how did you like it when you first came?
Well, I was small. I don't remember too much, but we had friends to play with, so.
Sure.
And I wasn't in school yet, so.
Oh, wonderful. And you still speak some Dutch with your sisters then?
Yes, I do.
Oh, wonderful. And you're in your Dutch costume looking so festive. Of course, you've seen earlier the Dutch klompen dancing, as it's known, and we will be showing you more images of that if you haven't seen some already. And these 2 on the end, I understand, they were after the trip, right?
Well, my mother was expecting the Robbie.
Oh, Robbie.
And then 3 years later, Henry came
Wonderful.
along.
All right. Well, what was it like, Robbie, growing up in America in a Dutch home that mainly spoke Dutch?
Well, I felt real comfortable because I had 5 great brothers and sisters. Oh, compliment. That made it a lot easier. And tradition, great parents, makes it easy.
Definitely.
We loved them, and
My name is Henry,
Henry.
and I was born 3.5 years after we got to America.
And since you've been the youngest of the family, were you the most spoiled? Is that usually how it
Well,
works?
that's what they all tell me, but I don't believe it.
And you're not living here now. Where are you living now?
I'm currently living in Prattville,
Oh
Alabama.
my gosh.
I left Salt Lake City in 1984.
Great.
But we also, as you said, we speak Dutch to each other. I grew up in a Dutch household, of course, which was primarily Dutch, and I learned English simultaneously with Dutch.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing though. And that, in addition to being Dutch and having these great traditions, what's one of your favorite memories of your Dutch heritage?
I have to say it would be Christmas time. we always get to open our Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, and we didn't have much, but it was always a very special time of the family for the family.
And so what's something that people would find interesting about the way the Dutch people celebrate Christmas that is different from anyone else?
Well, on December 5, we celebrate Sinterklaas Day, and he has a helper, Zwarte Piet. And he comes and brings presents to all the kids on December 5 and throws paper nota to the kids, and the kids put the wooden shoes by the fireplace, and Sinterklaas fills them with chocolate letters and paper nota and candies, gold coins, chocolate coins. And that's a tradition. And Sinterklaas was here 2 days ago at our family reunion.
And when you teach the kids in the school, how well received is it when you tell them about Dutch things as far as Netherlands and Holland? Do they get it confused? Do they know it's the same country?
No, they say, is that two different countries? I says, no, Holland and the Netherlands are the same country.
Nice.
And then when I teach them about the Netherlands, they're very impressed with that. In fact, 6 years ago, I taught as a substitute teacher in a classroom, and then I'm in a high school, and the student says, hey, you were in my 5th grade class telling us about the Netherlands. So it's very well received and well remembered.
Let's see. Can you see that? Can you see those little delicious cookies? Okay, I'm going to have one. You guys want some?
Natuurlijk.
How do you explain what that tastes like? What would you say the flavor is?
Like a ginger snap.
Ginger snap?
Ginger nut?
A ginger snap.
Anise is in it.
Oh,
Yes.
I was going to say, what's the interesting flavor? I love that. So that's got, I think the Dutch must love licorice because they've got the candy and then a nice flavor.
Right.
So who makes these the most in your family?
Well, I make them all the time, yes, and so does my sister Marlene. But I do the Sinterklaas program a lot. I have 5 grandchildren, and I go to their school at December 5. And then my husband was always Sinterklaas. Now my son-in-law does it. He dresses up as Sinterklaas, and then I have Zwarte Piet, and then we demonstrate to the children. So I always bring them paper nota.
This is delicious. Oh, I can see why. And honestly, I need to get your recipe. Do you share that with non-family members?
Oh, absolutely. The Dutch share everything.
And you know what? The Dutch are known as being very happy people, and you guys have wonderful smiles. And I just want to say thank you for letting us come and share your reunion with you. You've been delightful, and the food was off the charts. And I think you should open a restaurant. Yes, or just tell me when the next reunion is because I'll be there. Anyway,
For letting
Yes.
us share our heritage with you.
well, you have a wonderful heritage, something to be so proud of, and you really should continue on. Obviously, I'm impressed, and it's been a delight getting to know Marlene Long and her family. And thanks for watching. I'm Amy Kelly. You're on TooeleTV. In the Gloria, in the Gloria. Hip hip hurrah! Hip hip hurrah! Hip hip hurrah!